good evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Bar, and we are here to discuss some wrestling. I hope all of you are having a great one. Have you catch this? Whenever you catch this. Respectfully, there wasn't a review for Raw. At least not in the timely manner maybe everyone was expecting it, because Raw has been ass cheeks. All right, straight doo-doo. It's not a good product. All right, between me, you, and the upload bar, I can't watch that shit. I can't, and hey, maybe I just need to take a step away from everything, right? And maybe analyze it on my own time, because we do have a bit of a shotgun review for Raw, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all, we're getting directly into our May 6th, April 2026 Dynamite, and that's really all I care about, truthfully. We can talk about the 50% pay cut really quick. There is a theory that certain niggas out there are getting that pay cut, Mr. Rollins, I'm looking at you. Hey, Charlotte, we're looking at you. We don't know what's going on. All I know is that TKO has been making money hand over fist, telling you niggas every other pay-per-view and every other fucking premium live event, they're making more money than they can count with their grubby little fucking hands. But for some reason, you niggas can't give Akira Tozawa an actual match. For some reason, we kept the Creed brothers on fucking ice for a year. And now we just throw them in luchador mask, and now I should give a fuck. As you cut people's paychecks. Fuck you, TKO. Fuck Mark Shapiro. And fuck Nick Khan. Fuck Triple Nose as well. This entire company, all right, it produces just ass. It produces ass production, ass match, ass booking, ass storytelling, ass payment, ass fucking management, ass. It's all bad. All of it. And there's no other way to fucking sugarcoat it. Yeah, let's get directly into our very shotgun, very quick review for Raw. Because again, what the fuck is Monday Night Raw at this point? Honestly, what is it? Nada. It's not a fucking thing anymore. We start this night with Judgment Day. Judgment Day slop. At least that's how I'm digesting it. Yeah, I know there was a Vision segment. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I have vision fatigue. Hey, my vision's a little blurry, Doc. How about that? Maybe I need some fucking cataracts or something. I cannot keep fucking watching these guys go out there and bumble around like a bunch of idiots. That's all they do. Braun goes out there. He talks about Seth. I think Seth tries to get the jump on Braun or something moronic to that fact. And basically Seth just gets speared to high heaven. Next segment. That's it. Like, I wish I could give some kind of rich, insanely veteran-like breakdown of this product. There's nothing here. The first match of the night is a Judgment Day match. JD McDonough, Finn Balor. And if I can be corrected, I'll be corrected. It's the first match of the night that I give a fuck about. Maybe I'll put some more emphasis in that. Listen. Oh man, Finn Balor's out here. That's something. This story should have died when Finn Balor went over clean on Dom on the biggest stage of them all. But no, we didn't get that. That would have been too much to ask for. So the Judgment Day involves themselves and fucks over Finn in this match. JD McDonough gets a win, and that's your first match of this Raw, a JD McDonough match. Let's move on. Let's move on at a very swift pace, shall we? Every time I look at Dom, I think about him not defending that AAA belt. Pisses me right the fuck off. I'm gonna tell all you that right now. Makes me real fucking irritated. I don't know why Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez are in this like Cold War standoff thing. Pull the fucking trigger. What are we doing? This situation with the Judgment Day has been brewing for 4 to 5 odd years. Kill it. Put it out of its fucking misery, man. Listen, anybody who's watching this shit and is actually entertained by the Judgment Day, man, they need to get their heads checked. They need to get their fucking heads checked. It's the same shit, season after season, year after year. Oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, somebody's training. Oh, no, nobody's gonna betray. Oh, everything's good. Oh, everything's bad. Like, I genuinely feel like I'm like playing a game of fucking Monopoly, and I'm just like, all right, what's happening now? Well, what's happening now? Is it ever gonna end? How do you stop the game of Monopoly? Man, what a fucking headache this show is. Okay, Miro ends up with the help of Ethan Page. Don't know what the fuck is going on there. They go over on Penta and Bouncy Evans. Javon Evans, along with Trick and Oba, are the only positive things to come out of this company in the year 2026. That is all I will say about this match. Yeah, Javon's great. But again, Ethan goes over, not great. Oh man, it's one of those things. There's an Oba Open Challenge segment that is right after another Vision segment with Joe Henry in the Vision and Seth Rollins, and fuck me, man. Oi. I don't know if they think that this is like entertaining. It's not. Seeing Javon Evans, budding up and coming star, not get the actual title push he deserves, that's not entertaining. It's not. Seeing the Vision go over on Seth for the second time tonight won't be the last. It's not entertaining for anybody. For a fucking soul. All right, let's get to the rest of these segments. Yeah, Oba Open Challenge. Why isn't Oba in a world title feud? Who knows? Oba and Braun, maybe. Is that impossible? Oba and Jacob, maybe. Just to set up for whoever the fuck gets to actually take that belt off of Roman, because we need to talk about Roman's contract. Roman has been taking off all of the June dates. Now, this could be some weird little kayfabe surprise, but why the fuck wouldn't you market your quote-unquote biggest star? Unless you were gonna A, drop that title, or B, he's telling you niggas to make his contract look sexy and you niggas aren't. So now I have to ask myself, what the fuck could y'all possibly be doing to Roman Reigns' contract? That's my only thought right now. Either what the fuck is going on with that contract, or actually, what the fuck is going on with TKO in their booking? Because at this point, I can't even blame. Listen, Triple H gets 50, TKO gets the other 50. This shit is ass. It's horrible. This is now the Open Challenge number 5. Open Challenge Femi, is that his name? Is his name Open Challenge? Or is it Oba? This is bad. This is bad. I don't know when we're gonna get a real opponent, but I feel like even like looking at some of these segments, I seen some. He went against Otis. It was fine. Again, like Oba and Otis, two heavy hitters, right? So it's not impossible for that to be a good match, but even with the shit with the territories, man, it's just, oh god, it's too much. It's too much for me to bear. I can't do it. I need Oba to get something actually fucking real within the next couple of business days, or I'm gonna crash. I'm gonna crash the fuck out. It's pretty simple. It's as simple as that, actually. Yes, and as I load up another Open Challenge into my fucking 12-gauge shotgun, I have to acknowledge that there isn't a drop of women's wrestling on tonight's match, or tonight's card. Not a drop of women's wrestling. Bayley can't get a match. I mean, none of the NXT girls that you apparently have called up can get a match. Nobody can get a fucking match. Stephanie apparently is just on sabbatical for an actual shoot head injury. Raquel Rodriguez maybe pushing Roxanne into that limelight she was destined for. No. Because a 4-star with Roxanne or Raquel or Liv, that makes the product look like a fucking wrestling company. And unfortunately, this shit is just a Slim Jim, American Weekly, and Netflix company. Mortal Kombat on the side. Maybe a little Fireball on the weekends. This company isn't about wrestling anymore. So I'm not surprised. Somebody made a very apt very apt observation. This is a company focused on profit. If they're only gonna, televise the TV shows, then they only need TV wrestlers. Yeah. So Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the lifeline of that locker room, yeah, they can go. Who cares? Hey, Natalya, Yvette, who can probably help maybe half of that locker room when it comes to, getting a fucking grapple, right? Watching the matches, reviewing a vet like Natalya. Send her down to NXT. Yeah. Send her to NXT. Kevin Owens, he's good enough to walk around. No, don't put him in a manager role, you fucking moron. Put him on LFG. Real geniuses. Real fucking, Einsteins. The creme de la creme going on over there. We gotta move forward. Man. There's a Sol Ruka and Becky Lynch segment that I didn't hate. Basically Sol Ruka says, keep fucking with me and my patience, I'm gonna snatch that soul out of your body. Reference to her finisher, obviously. Becky Lynch sets up a right hand, hits Adam Pearce. Nothing really comes of this, probably except for an IC title match where Sol Ruka will win, before hot potatoing it back to Becky Lynch, because this company's a fucking afraid of change and ingenuity. There's a 6-man Panera Bread Mocha Frappuccino Latte match I don't give a fuck about. Neither should you. It's fine wrestling. Fine wrestling. Hey, again, it's fine. It's as fine as you're gonna fucking get on this show, wholeheartedly. The lucha gimmick is fucking not it. There's 6 niggas in a lucha mask. All of them are white, and only one of them give a fuck about the gimmick at all. Everything about this gimmick is just a Trump dog whistle. I don't. Oh God, I can't. I can't. I'm sorry. Like, more shit I just can't wrap my head around. We got 6 morons in a mask. We didn't even do the mask versus mask at WrestleMania. Such a layup of a fucking match for you niggas. Honestly, it was. But we can't even get an Asuka match. We get an Asuka segment. Ooh. EO segment. Ooh. So cool. More talking. More fucking talking on my wrestling promotion. Wow, lucky me. Lucky fucking me. Last thing of the night that we have to discuss. Happy about it. Jacob Fatu, Roman. Jacob Fatu and Roman. The promo work here isn't bad. The promo work here is actually pretty solid from Jacob. Pretty good all around. Pretty decent all around from Roman. He has like 2 slip-ups, but he's barely there, as it fucking is. They don't put production into the show anymore, so nobody's going over lines with the nigga. The unemployed one can only be unemployed for so long, right? So he gets his little spiel out about trying to feed 100 families. Jacob trying to feed his 7. They go back and forth. He acknowledges that Jacob used this new chokehold he's never fucking used before. He has never used this before, but I think because they really don't want this nigga Roman to look like a chump jabroni type 4, right? They don't want him to get put through the table. They don't want him to eat no Samoan drops. No. That's for Roman. That's for the big time. That's for when the lights are on. Camera, lights, action. This chokehold, him even acknowledging it's a tongue and death grip. Like, some of these names, gang, so old school, so insane. I'll bypass that for what it is. He fights out of it, and then Jacob just keeps applying it. And I'm like, nigga, if he's fighting out of it, why don't you use your other finishers? You have other finishers. I don't know what the Christ. That was raw. If it sounded like not a lot happened, a lot didn't happen. This show is not good. This isn't a good show. I think SmackDown only edges this out a little bit because it's just funny. It's funny to watch. It's comical how fucking horrible SmackDown is. This shit is like watching a nigga with like 2 broken kneecaps trying to run a mile. It's like, okay, like, sit down. Stop. Like, somebody's gonna hurt themselves trying to produce this show, and I've already hurt myself reviewing. Okay, let's get into our very anticipated Dynamite for May 6, 2026. Now, all right, I couldn't speak about this Dynamite without first giving a small eulogy, all right, to Ted Turner, all right? That is how we start the night, with Sting and Tony Schiavone in the middle of the ring, just doing a small memoriam for Ted Turner. For those who don't know, Ted Turner was the CEO of Turner Entertainment Broadcast, which brought you, many programs such as CNN, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, and Toonami, three-headed beast right there, TNT, AEW, and who can forget Ted Turner's engagement with WCW. They have been a part of the wrestling world for a very, very long time, and it's sad. It's sad to see. A lot of people had a lot of really nice, heartfelt things to share about Ted Turner. Again, from all the way to Cartoon Network, all the way to AEW, there are a lot of people who this guy's life was involved in, right? I mean, think about it. The same person who watched Courage the Cowardly Dog for the very first time as a child, right? The very first person who watched, not the very first person, but somebody who watched the Powerpuff Girls for the very first time on a Cartoon Network show, that exact same person is just as impacted as anyone who watched Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at All Out 2 years ago. Might have been All In or Forbidden Door, I believe. Forbidden Door about 2 or so years ago, right? That same man, that same mind was in control of both of those scenarios 20 some odd years apart. There's really nothing else to say except for rest in peace to Ted Turner. When Vince goes, he will not get this out-loving amount of support and sweet thoughts and kind words, because Vince McMahon was known to have way too many fucking problems to keep up with, and it just is what it is. It is what it is. Our first official match of the night, we get Jonathan Moxley versus Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson is very cool, very dope. He has this thing where like he mutters, I just beat John Moxley once, I'll do it again. He does that literally until the opening bell. I like that. It's just good storytelling. I think the character work on that is actually pretty solid. We have Taz, Shivani, and Excalibur on the comms tonight. I think that's always going to be a positive for Dynamite. Taz and Shivani's dynamic, very good. Excalibur kind of being the straight man in their group. It's good. Simple kind of premise there. We get an Eric Bischoff cameo via tweet in respect to Ted Turner. I like that a lot. I also really like the match that is, again, the backdrop for this very sweet, like 5-minute long bell ring ceremony for Ted Turner. And it's interesting, because we get the ace, John Moxley, somebody who can arguably say is the face of AEW, starting out tonight, right? The heart and soul of this locker room, coming out here as the first match after Memoriam to Ted Turner. I like it. I think it's just pretty solid storytelling. Also know that a lot of people back there are probably a little curious on the type of match that we're going to get between Moxley and Juice. This is a great fucking match. This was a very good opening match. I definitely can say that Moxley, for lack of a better word, he is a tad sharper than Juice in some aspects, but Juice has an amazing way to get defense off and offense off, and I like the idea that Moxley being cocky, it adds to a little bit of this match where Juice has the opportunity to get the upper hand, right? He hits a really good power bomb from the corner shortly after he hits a cannonball. Moxley tries to get this whole Death Rider pile driver thing off, but it doesn't work, and essentially, right, the point of this match is to weaken Juice Robinson's hand, and the left hand is where the massive shot comes off from. So there's a lot of work, there's a lot of selling going into this right hand, and even with some moves performed that isn't exactly left hand heavy, Juice Robinson, and I definitely think it works. I know that Moxley is very comfortable with somebody like Robinson. They've locked up in the past, so it's not going to catch him off guard. It's not going to be like a concussive kind of situation. No, Moxley seems to have a very good chemistry with Juice, and Juice, obviously he doesn't win, but even how he loses, right? He thrashes around and he refuses to eat the Bulldog chokehold. I like that. I think that fits Moxley's, idea of being, a submissions grappler, and, it locks down the idea that Juice Robinson didn't just lay down on his back and eat a 1, 2, 3, right? He went out swinging and he went out fighting, which is exactly what he wanted. I thought this would be damn near match of the night, but we had, honestly, maybe two other really good fucking matches. So that's pretty much everything I have for this opening match. I will say that this story, it kind of does lead to a possible Jay White and Moxley story down the line, which I'm never upset at. Listen, this is a good match, solid opening, and again, this was a very good showing in memorial to Ted Turner, in my humble opinion. Our next match that we get is Orange Cassidy versus Dax. Now, this is practically just a lumberjack match, I'll be honest with all of you. But I'll be honest, I didn't really expect Orange to win. Honestly, I only because of how Tony be booking my goat, how he be booking my dog, my demon, Orange Cassidy. I literally put in my notes, Orange wins or we riot, and that wasn't hyperbole. That wasn't me fucking around. That's me being very serious. I would like to think that this match was supposed to be for a contender of match of the night, but there was just a small thing where every time Dax went out the ring, he never got beat up, but every time Orange went out the ring, he got beat up. I don't know. It wasn't upsetting, but I was just looking for maybe just more of an even trade-off, I guess. That's pretty much all I wanted from that. Very good match, though. Very good match. I think the involvement of not only Cope and Cage, the Young Bucks, but conglomeration, that being paired off with all of FTR, RPG Vice, who else was out there? The dogs, right? Like there are a lot of people in this match, and that's basically why it's a lumberjack match. But the match itself, right? Dax is such a good wrestler. Dax is such a good fucking wrestler. Orange Cassidy is on the defensive. He's on the run. He's on the the uphill battle. Orange Cassidy is on the fight for a lot of this match, right? A lot of this match, he is definitely trying to overcome Orange Cassidy. He's definitely trying to overcome, a Dax Harwood. And again, it's a simple story of just using that hand, making sure he can't use it, keeping him as incapacitated as possible, right? But Orange Cassidy, he has such a fucking interesting way of just keeping everything going at the exact momentum you needed to. I don't think he wins with like a roll-up. He uses his orange punch, and then I believe he hits a Stun Dog Millionaire, one more orange punch, 1, 2, 3. And then it's funny, right? Because after this match concludes, everyone just runs into the middle of the fucking ring. And there's like an entire brawl segment. Now, the 10-man match doesn't happen directly after this, but it definitely looks like it could have, because everyone just enters the ring. Everyone starts running around like fucking chickens with their heads cut off. It's actually pretty funny. It's actually pretty interesting. After, the heels get cleared, it's only the faces, and RPG is left in the ring. Or maybe I think it was a Trent Barrera and like Tony Romero, I believe that's what his name was. I'll be honest though, I didn't really think that this would really lead to anything at all. I assume that this would be a match, but us ending it off here is fine. Again, this is a very good match, a really solid segment. Really quickly, we talk about Ricochet, Jericho. They're still doing their segment. They're still doing their program. Not an amazing promo from Ricochet, but Jericho definitely salvaged it. The Hurt Syndicate come out to save Jericho again, and I don't really know why they keep doing that, but they do. They do keep doing that. So yeah, I guess we're gonna get Jericho and the Hurt Syndicate. We hurt walls, huh? We break the walls. I guess that's what we're doing. Jericho's backward tat was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, him also forgetting the state. Ricochet thought we were in South Carolina. It's North Carolina, or reverse. It's North Carolina. They're in South Carolina. Hey man, I don't know how the fuck he did that. Honestly, I don't know how he did that, but he did. But I guess I just did it though, right? So whatever. I would like to know, exactly the endpoint for this Ospreay and Death Rider storyline. The idea is that Ospreay just came back from Japan and they're putting him through the rigor, so he knows that he will not get an easy break. He has to get all the fundamentals back. He has to get his mind right and get his neck right, or else he will never be the same kind of wrestler again. And really easy story to tell with Moxley, someone who can cut a promo with his fucking eyes closed, hands tied behind his back. But Ospreay definitely needs some kind of I would say launch pad for the rest of this story. I would like to know if we're going heel or face, and I would also want a clear vision of who this new version of Ospreay is supposed to be going against, because it is a very nice vignette and this is a very nice story being told with the rehabilitation of Ospreay, but where exactly does it go? And I think that's what I'm trying to just find myself understanding. It's a little difficult, but it's definitely not impossible. Definitely not impossible. Next match on the card that we get is Kazuchika Okada versus Brian Keith. Now, honestly, I assume that Orange Cassidy and Dax Harwood match would be match of the night. Very good match that they had. This might be match of the night. And I'm not fucking joking. This actually might be match of the night. Brian Keith, he had this match with Hangman Adam Page a couple of moons ago, and it was a lot of niggas on the timeline going, oh, this nigga Brian Keith is really like that. And I've been trying to tell y'all he's been like that for a while. For a while now, I've been trying to tell all y'all that Brian Keith is like that. He wakes Okada up. There's no other way to put it. If anyone has sleepy, absent-minded Okada memes, this is not the match to put on. This is not the match to watch. Brian Keith literally keeps Okada on his toes for the whole match. It's great to see. It's great to see. We get a reasonable, a decent Okada title defense that doesn't seem like he's just gonna squash this guy, some jabroni from catering. Brian Keith has had some memorable moments in AEW, and a lot of people were talking about his haircut being like a big cultural thing, right? Like, there are a lot of upsides to this match. I would like if Callis had maybe more of a permanent role on the comms, only because I just think he adds a lot of personality. But I'm not surprised in Brian Keith losing losing. I mean, he hit a fucking tiger driver. I mean, like, bro, this is such a smart match. I'm sorry, like, this is a smart match. This is a smart match from two incredibly smart wrestlers, and I really do think that this is the door. This is the door of opportunity that we need to see more of Brian Keith, and I'll be perfectly happy with that. Okada is setting up his first match against Takeshita at Double or Nothing, which I think should be a very, very good match. A lot of people are kind of skeptical of what versions of, you know, Takeshita and Okada we're gonna get. I'm expecting greatness, and I honestly, if we get anything less, I will try my best to deal with it. But I'm expecting greatness from these niggas wholeheartedly. Okada hits a Rainmaker to finish off this night, but you know, he attempts to hit off a Rainmaker at least 2 other times. It doesn't work. Brian Keith is great. Brian Keith is really, really sharp in that ring, and I can't get enough praise to that. Can't get enough praise to that man. The Ops have a small segment where they call out Ospreay. I would like Samoa Joe versus Will Ospreay more than you niggas could possibly imagine, but hear me out. Anthony Bowens will be the sacrificial lamb. Hear me out. There'll be a match with Ops, Death Riders on the horizon. It's going to be bubbling up Ospreay's first Death Rider match. Anthony Bowens or Shibata. Ospreay versus Shibata. I need that. I need that bad. I need that bad. Okay. All right. Enough salivating over some of these hypothetical matches. I don't know why Anthony Bowens doesn't have an op shirt, but everyone else has an op shirt. Don't know what's up with that. Also, where the fuck is Hook? Don't know what's up with that. Whatever. Maybe I didn't finish the segment. Next couple of matches of the card, we get Chris Statlander and Shida versus Harley Cameron and Mina Shirakawa. Now, I stated before that Mina Shirakawa should be having an official singles run. That she has the you know, the moveset. That she also has the personality and the pull backstage to get some shit moving. She definitely takes a bit of a backstep. She definitely takes a bit of a backseat this Dynamite. I would like to think it's because it is a tag match. You know, there's an entire tag rope to be grabbed, but this match, from no surprise, you know, to anybody, it's lost. You know, it is lost with Harley Cameron being on this team. She does eat the pin, not surprisingly. But I was expecting just a Shida and Mina feud, like an actual feud between some of these ladies. Maybe that's me asking for too much. Maybe that's me looking too much into the future, rubbing on my crystal ball a little too hard. I would have loved if Harley Cameron maybe just became, I don't know, manager, commentator. She's very comedically gifted, and she's good in that ring. Like Harley Cameron, it's not a situation like Maxine Dupree. Harley Cameron is very, very smooth in that ring for everything that she needs to execute. I just think it's that situation with Willow Nightingale where, there is a bit of a talent gap. It's not insane. It's not like, you know, like 6 years or anything. But yeah, no, there's a talent gap between Harley Cameron and Mina Shirakawa. This shouldn't be rude for me to say. It's not like I'm saying like I don't want Harley Cameron to ever step foot in the wrestling ring again. I just think that against somebody, you know, like Shida, Chris Statlander, it's like, I don't know. This division does need a mid card, but Tony barely books the fucking women's division anyway. So I'm like, what are we really talking about? I'm like, what are we really talking about? Yeah, but Shida and Chris personality, Shida and Chris's personality, they work very, very well together. Big fan of Chris Statlander, Chris Statlander fan club. Stand the fuck up. You all know how I feel about that. Yeah, but there are moments in this match where I was like, bro, Harley is moving like slightly better than Mina, and I was shocked. And even the commentary pointed out, I was like, wow. Harley Cameron looks amazing. Probably on her best game she's looked in a while. They literally said this shit while Mina like had just grabbed the tag rope 2 seconds ago. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on, chat. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the fuck is happening. A little miscommunication led to Chris Statlander eating, I believe it was a super kick from Shida, or maybe her finisher. I'm kind of blinking on that. This small distraction led for Shida to end up hitting the finisher on Harley Cameron. Uno, dos, tres. And Shida the entire time, she has a great personality. She has great charisma, great crowd work. A lot of her arsenal, it just works with what she's trying to do with this entire heel thing. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Shida. Again, in my perfect world, you know, we're kind of starting the tracks on this whole Shida versus Chris, leading into a Willow avenging story for Chris Statlander. Maybe that's too much akin to what Toni Storm's going through, but I don't know. Even in Toni Storm, like, what's the Toni Storm storyline right now with Mina? It's just, I don't know. It's kind of everywhere. Everything's just kind of everywhere right now. But this is one of our 2 women's matches on the card. So you know, it's hey, better than Raw. Hey, better than Raw this week. That's all we can say for that. Last match of the night, last official match of this Dynamite. It's Dynamite and Collision. I don't know, my title probably spoiled that for a lot of you. But it's Kevin Knight, the Kinetic One, versus Darby Allin, the man who refuses to fall forever. I wanted to ask myself initially, is Darby Allin like ever going to lose this championship? And I don't know who he loses it to. I think that's my only real observation of this. I wanted to like really map out who could he lose to, because not a massive spoiler, he doesn't really lose to Kevin Knight, the TNT champion. He probably won't lose to Okada, your international champion. So really should be somebody who is without a belt. Maybe Adam Cole if he returns in a timely manner, but again, that's just me theory crafting. Top of my head. Swerve. Literally, Swerve Strickland is the only person I can think about with the history and the move, and like again the moveset, the arsenal to counter somebody like Darby Allin, somebody who is just known to be very persistent, very resilient, right? You do need somebody who's willing to go that extra mile, and I do think that Swerve. Now this Kevin Knight and Darby match is great. I don't want to take anything away from this match. I definitely do want to focus on the booking for a second. And I think the booking of Kevin Knight already being a secondary champion, the booking of Okada already being a secondary champion, and going after Darby, I understand some fans or some casuals or even some haters, right, not really gelling with it, not really vibing with it. Now, if you watch this match, I'm gonna be so fucking serious. If you watch this match and you would prefer Kit Wilson and The Miz and Danhausen, then enjoy that. Hey, brother man, enjoy that. Kevin Knight is a future world champion. I do think that there is a scenario where this is the exact same situation 2 years from now, and Kevin Knight goes over. They pull that trigger on Kevin Knight. It's a really good match. Kevin Knight has a very high octane. Honestly, it's insane how high his velocity can get. Like, he gets up there. He gets up there, and he creates enough space for everything to land clean. His foot placements. I definitely think his communication with not only Darby, but like everybody else that he's locked arms with, right? He has a really good way of just telling everyone, hey, I'll be there when I'm there. Just make sure that you catch me. And out of nowhere, he'll just come flying from the other side of the ring. He hits a really beautiful coast to coast that is reminiscent of the coast to coast that Darby Allin ate to put him on the shelf for a couple of months after that C2 challenge. I really do think that was a work injury. I highly doubt that the nigga who throws himself off of ladders into sheets of glass couldn't tank a coast to coast. He couldn't tank a coast to come on, my nigga, come on. But after a coast to coast and a UFO splash, it's a really good near fall. There's a lot of really solid near falls in this match. But Darby, he ends up hitting a coffin drop while Kevin Knight is kind of laid out on the ropes. He then hits a second coffin drop, which gets him the 1, 2, 3. I love the idea of Darby Allin hitting 2 back-to-back coffin drops. Pretty cool. Hey, pretty fucking cool. Not gonna hold y'all. But that's pretty much everything. That's pretty much everything for this Dynamite. Again, Okada does come out to challenge him, and MJF has a couple of choice words for Darby Allin as well, and we decide that we will probably have a hair versus title match. Now, hair versus title match. Here's the thing. I don't think that MJF is shaving his head. And I think that's really what it boils down to with a lot of fans. I don't know if they're upset at the match or the stipulation. I just think knowing MJF and what his character is, what his character has to be kind of for the future of AEW, to be honest, I don't see him cutting his hair. I just don't see it. It might happen, but I don't know. Like, are they going to do like some kind of DQ finish? Hypothetically, what they should do is have Ospreay run in, and now the next pay-per-view or next time they lock arms, it will be a triple threat, or else I'm just going to start killing niggas out here. Ospreay can just move like that. He is a Death Rider now, so anything he kind of wills into reality, you kind of just become that. Hey, it is what it is. That was everything that we had for Dynamite, May 6, 2026. Let's talk about Collision really quick, because again, it is a two-parter. We get AR Hooper versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Very, very happy that AR Hooper is back on my television screen. Now all we need is Max Caster, and the boys are back in town. The boys are back in town indeed. Very, very fun match. A quicker match than I'd like for it to be, but I'm happy that AR is back, and now we can get him back into the ROH scene. Maybe even, fingers crossed, we get that nigga in CMML. Imagine AR Fox in CMML. Imagine that shit. Okay, I gotta relax. I gotta calm down. Holy fuck. We got a Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue match. Very fun.
very, very fun match. I think Sky Blue is definitely coming into her own when it comes to singles wrestling. I would love for her to get a TBS run maybe in the next year and a half. I think that would be really good for her character. Jamie Hayter is still on the climb for Thekla. I think that their first dust up was very, very good. Jamie Hayter and Thekla, it just works on paper. It's an avalanche haterade to put away this match. What I will say is that maybe I think this move needs a little bit more breathing room. So it's not just a bump, it's a bump and a sell. I think it was just predominantly bump with this. But I mean, again, it's an avalanche move, so there's not exactly a lot of time in the air. You don't exactly get a lot of grace as you fall from the sun, right? I won't want to speak on Roos really quickly. Roos gets a squash match, which is fine, but I definitely think that we should be pushing for an actual feud, a tangible opponent, that he can really sink his teeth into. Kind of just akin what I want for Oba, what I want for niggas like Andrade, right? Just something real, something there. I don't think that's a lot to ask for with somebody of Roos's caliber. So a quick little squash match, and then we get a 10-man tag hootin' and hollering match. This is just a lot of hootin' and hollering. Hey, I love wrestling as much as the next nigga. I adore the Young Bucks. Clark Connors is easy future TNT champion. No question asked, right? A great performer in everyone that steps through these ropes, even in the fucking not Tommaso Ciampa, but we do see the Young Bucks kind of team up with this team that they're not exactly used to, and they perform well. Like they perform well. I'm not positive when I seen the Young Bucks kind of move at a pace where like they're kind of giving the backseat to everyone that they're working with, and that is because they're working with some NorCats. They are working with people who do need that shine. So everybody does what they need to do in this match, but again, it's a lot of hooting and hollering. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of hooting and hollering, a lot of flips and a lot of tricks. But it's fun. It's fun. The Death Riders are involved in this match, so we get Moxley on comms, and I definitely think that that's just a cherry on top. That's the cherry on top to this collision. Again, it is paired with Dynamite in memoriam to Ted Turner, a legend in the media industry, and I think that this is this is a very, very, very fitting tribute. That was everything that your boy had for May 6, 2026 Dynamite and Collision. My shotgun quick off review for Raw. Call this omnibus, call this whatever the fuck you want, but call it over, all right? Because it's done. Everything your boy Cappy had is everything your boy Cappy gave to you. Okay, that was pretty much everything. I do have some other stuff going up for the rest of the week. Not forgetting, One Piece, SmackDown. We're probably even gonna try to touch on TNA, ROH in the next couple of videos. So I definitely say stick around. I hope all of you have a good one. However you catch this, whenever you catch this, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and as I always say, while you stay tuned, stay safe, stay beautiful. Peace.